What is up, you guys? 9K RPM back with another video on the Integra again. And today we are going to be getting rid of that transmission mount. So we're going to be getting rid of that transmission mount today. And we're also going to be covering up these wires with some electrical tape and some wire covers, like this plastic here. I got some new ones, so we're going to put that on and see if we can get all that hooked up right now. Guys, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just getting some fresh electrical tape. I'm going to go ahead and e-tape the whole harness again. Just how it was before. So don't want any of these wires touching anything else or becoming an issue in the future. I'm just gonna keep doing this until this whole harness is basically done. So yeah. Alright, you guys, so I've got most of this one done right here. It's nice and taped up, beautiful. I'm gonna continue on into the firewall. I've started on this one as well. That one nice and taped up. I'm still got a bit to go. I'm cut that off and squeeze these together a bit more and then continue on to the firewall, and then I'll just start back up with this one again until all of it's ran nice. Probably just gonna cut this and run, probably gonna cut this and let it run freely on its own. Start tape here and tape this one down, and then start tape here and tape this one down, just like that. So now that I've gotten basically everything in the bay, all electrical taped up, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything that's on the inside of the dash electrical taped up. This was as far as I can go, and then I just pushed it through. The firewall and fed it, so it gives me enough room to work right here to go ahead and keep taping it. So yeah, almost done with this. So I've gotten everything nice and electrical taped up and everything. And I'm gonna push that back in a little bit. Get everything nice and tucked. Fuse box is mounted. I just used that bolt right there, mounted it up. It's pretty stable. And it's actually plugged up now. I don't know if I get the camera back there so you can see the plugs, but fuse box is in, plugged up, tucked, and then in the bay. It's messy out here. In the bay. This is how it looks. I was trying to get that little rubber piece to go back on, but it was super tedious. This is some sensor that's wired into the harness, so that's why it's going its own separate way. This is the harness itself. I've got it coming out through here. Hope to push it up against this wall, and it's running through the fender now. This is actually, I believe, is going to plug up to the motor harness. I'll double check that and let you guys know for a fact where that goes. But yeah, I ran it through the fender just to kind of get rid of some of the wiring here. I didn't want to damage it while taking off this mount. Also, I'm going to be moving this terminal to the rear of the car because I'm going to relocate the battery to the trunk. Battery pretty much right there where it is in the trunk right now on the driver's side. Now I'm going to continue with bay prep. I'm going to go ahead and remove that back mount, remove this mount, and then remove the bracket. I've already loosened this 17 right here. Pull that right out. Awesome sauce, came out easy. And then just wiggle this mount right out of its place. Just like that. Cool. That's all done. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to record. Wow. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to record meanwhile actually drilling that, but I'll try to see if I get footage. If not, then it's pretty straightforward, guys. There's those little notches there. You're gonna have to drill through those. 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4 more in here, 2 on top and 2 right there in the bottom. Gonna have to drill through those, and then you've got 1 down there and 2 more right there. So once you get all of those spot welds drilled through, you're just gonna go ahead and hammer it off. And I bought this drill. Hopefully it works. I got some bits, and I got a 4-pound rubber mallet and this pry bar just to help out this situation. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Okay guys, so I just went ahead and placed that negative terminal there. Don't know if that's gonna be enough ground, but it is grounded to the body, and this part of the body is enough for this ground, so I just assumed that it should be fine. We'll get to that bridge when we cross it, but I'm liking the quick mock-up of how it's gonna be set up. All that's left to do is basically run that 1 power wire from the front all the way to the back to here, and then I'm probably just gonna strap this down for the time being. All right, you guys, so I got my drill out, and I've been working these 2 bolts. I did a drill bit size up on this one right here. This one I'm gonna widen up with another big one. There's got 1 more back here that I haven't gotten to yet, so I'm gonna get to that one. Oh, it looks like 2 of them actually. So these 2, I'm gonna try and get to these 2. I've drilled out these 2 holes right here so that I can knock off this bracket, so that will give me a better angle at getting to these 2. Like about 6 more holes, and then I'm gonna start hammering that off, and that should be out of there. Okay, so I drilled all the pilot holes as previously stated, widened them up, and this is basically where I'm at with this mount right now. I'm trying to get it off. It's a little bit of a pain, but we're gonna see if we can just grind it and just cut it. Hopefully that works. All right guys, so drilling it didn't really work, so I got in there with my neighbor's die grinder, and we went ahead and just grinded it off. So that's completely gone. Mount's on the floor. Had to cut it in a few pieces, but it's off. Let me try and see if we can get this thing clean with the power washer. Got a lot of grease in bad places. So we got the power washer out. I'm gonna start off with the hood, get everything down, and then just keep working my way down, down, down. There's a lot of grind on the subframe areas, just want to kind of clean it up. All right, so I just sprayed a few cans of the degreaser. Just gonna let that settle on there. You can see it's like the gel kind of liquidy thing there. We're gonna let that marinate, and then it's everywhere literally. It doesn't look like it, but it's literally everywhere. So this is the degreaser that I used. Regular AutoZone stuff. Just go ahead and in your messy areas, spray a little bit of gel. Just let that settle. Let that do its thing. Alright you guys, so I've gotten that mount off. The engine is power washed down as best as I could. I can see my lower control arms again. Yay! No more grease. Okay, so let me get in here. So basically, this is the bracket for the post mount on the motor, on the new motor, and this slides on here. Just slides right on. There's 4 holes, 2 on each side, and where you originally would mount that the torque mount bolts. I don't know if we can see under here. Yep, those bolts right there. See that one hole? Let me see if I can get a better angle. Bong. So now that's lined up with that hole, and then down here, that one's lined up. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna thread these 2 bolts into those 2 holes to hold the bracket in place, and then we're gonna go ahead and mark the top of the bracket so we can know where to drill out the 2 holes, because these are actually going to go down like this and thread all the way down, and then lock with the bolt and washer on the underneath. All right, so just like that, we've got those 2 threaded just a little bit. The threads seem really stiff, so I'm probably gonna spray some degreaser in there and try to get them to loosen up a bit. But for now, we've got it mocked up to where I can definitely go ahead and mark those 2 holes and then get them drilled out. I didn't have the luxury of having some type of Sharpie to mark out wherever. So we're using nail polish. Don't judge me. Get it how you live, guys. I opted for the white. You can use whatever color you like. Nah, but in all seriousness, just mark these holes however you need to get them marked. And once you have your holes marked, just gonna go ahead, take those bolts back out, drill your holes. Or if you're nice enough, drill it with those still in there. I'm not gonna do that, but you guys do whatever you want. So yeah, basically just take this bracket back off and then drill your holes, and then you're gonna re-put the bracket back on, and then thread those screws all the way up through and past. Aha! So I found the fucking Sharpie, guys. I just Sharpied over the nail polish though. But yeah. However you mark that, and get the drilling. Okay, you guys, so I went ahead and got that mount installed. It's bolted up from the bottom as well. Nice. So that's done. So now I'm working on getting this out of there, because I'm just gonna run a steel braided line straight from the reservoir, then continue taking out this line, and then I'm gonna jack up the car, get the wheel off, get this brake line off, and get this brake line off as well. So that way, when the steel braided stuff comes in, it'll be super easy to install all of that. And I went down here, I took off the ABS sensor. I'm gonna repeat the process and do the same thing for the same side, but before that, I want to get that brake line out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and break that loose now and then take that out, because we are also going steel braided brake lines, as well as a 40/40 non-ABS proportion valve. So we're going to just change those lines anyways. Okay, so as you guys can see, I just took a 10 mil, put it, just open and wrench, just put it there, broke that loose, and just unthreaded it all the way out. And I'm just gonna feed it through there, and you can actually see on the floor the rest of the line, the other end of it. So I'm just gonna feed it right through there, go on the bit and pull it out from right here. Let me just flip the camera so you guys can see that decent. So from right here, I'm just gonna go on ahead and just bend it a little bit. Just get it come right up. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that bushing. I'm gonna put that bushing right back in its place. Okay, so now that we've got that ABS sensor removed and that brake line removed, I'm gonna go ahead and put back on the wheel and just let it rest. All right, you guys, I've went ahead and finished taking out the 2 remaining pieces of the brake lines going to each caliper in the front, and then I went ahead and took out the rest of the slave cylinder clutch line, and I also removed the ABS sensors. So the bay looks a whole bunch more neat. So next, I think I'm gonna go ahead and remove those 2 bolts there, remove those 2 bolts there, remove that subframe brace just for a little bit more room. And then I'm also gonna go ahead and remove this hose right here, again just for some more room. I don't think we're gonna need that, I'm not sure yet. I don't really care about running heat, but if we do, we'll figure that out when we get to that step. Still waiting on the proportion valve to come in, so we could switch that over, and then our steel braided lines that are going to run to our proportion valve. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this clutch line out. It's just really tedious because in there is really tight of a spot, and on top of that, top of that line is starting to strip, if you guys can see. So I just took a break from it. Now hopefully I can get the rest of the mounts in.